Businesses are starting to realize the value of vertical content. And so what that means for you as a videographer is how do you make your rig more compact and easier to capture that vertical content. I'm gonna show you all that I use on my Sony FX30, how I rig that up with my small rig cage and how everything works for me. So check this out. All right, the rest of this I'm actually using my phone to record because I need to use my camera to show you guys how I mount this. What we're gonna do is actually put this in a vertical mode since we're gonna be shooting vertically so that when I open up my monitor, you want it to be sitting on the top because my camera battery is going to mount underneath it. So what I need to do is actually put a nice quick release right here on the bottom of this. You can find these on Amazon. They're not super expensive. I don't even remember how much I spent on this. It was so cheap, but it's worth it. So all you have to do is basically line up the holes on your cage with the quick release and start screwing them in. All right, I think I got them all tightened up, so now we're gonna take our V-mount for our battery and put it on there. The way these V-mounts work is they basically have two releases. One where you can go up and down here where the battery will sit on the V-mount, and then this is for your actual mounting to your cage, and you'll clip it on to secure it on the cage. All right, now you just line it up on the tracks with the V-mount, and you'll notice these little hinges here. Just make sure you push them down in order to get it across. It's gonna help lock that into place. And then you turn the little lever to lock it in, and now it's locked right in there on that cage, like that. This is just the camera sitting flat. You can now see how it's mounted on the side, and where the battery is gonna go, the battery will hook on right here so that I can still move this up and down in order to access this monitor. Something handy about this quick release is it does actually make a nice little spot to balance your camera on when you're not doing anything else. You can just set it on there and it'll balance pretty well. Next up is this little handle here, and I'm gonna actually mount that right on the side here of my cage so that when I hold it vertically, I can have that handle vertically there. But you're gonna need this little nano that comes with this handle you can get. Here's what it looks like with the box. As you guys can see, this is super cheap as well. And just a little Allen wrench in order to tighten it to the cage right here. Once again, you're just gonna take the two screws and line them up right here on your cage. And I will say the one bad thing about this, this little nano right here is when I do get this mounted, if you're wanting to use an external monitor, you won't be able to do that because one of the bad things is when you try to open this, it won't open all the way for your HDMI port. So that is one downside to having this whole rig set up. And then once I get that slide on, I just push this lever here to lock it into place. And now my handle is locked into place right here on the top of my camera. So now you can see how it's starting to really come together. You have the handle on the top, you have the V-mount battery on the bottom, and you're almost all set. All right, now I'm just gonna slide my battery on right here. So this is the release I was telling you about earlier, right here, that will allow you to move forward or backward. You can just close it if you want to keep it further away so you can still access some of your controls, or once you've kind of dialed in your controls, you can then slide that in. You can pull that out and then have the monitor on top and then slide that battery right underneath. All right. That's what it kind of looks like once you get the battery mounted and you have the handle on top. Last thing is just plugging up your USB-C to USB-C for your power source for your camera all day. You just plug that bad boy right in. And now you're all set with power all day. You can kind of pull this around if you want. Sometimes I do take this and pull it under and over so it's not sticking out on the side, but that's basically what you can do. Now you have your monitor right here where you can see everything going on. And you have the handle so you can hold here, and you can use your offhand. In my case, I'm left-handed, so I like to use my left hand to hold the lens and then focus. Now the reason why I love this so much is right on the front of this camera is my record button. So I can hold it with this hand here. With my offhand, as I'm holding, I can push the record button and then go right into focusing while I'm maintaining holding the camera vertically. So now, as you guys can see, I have this really compact rig to take anywhere and record vertical content with a battery that will last all day. And remember, it's not the equipment you use, but the person behind the camera that matters.